Hey guys, so I'll be continuing with my part 3 of my IGCSE videos in which we solve the paper 4 for May June 2016. So anyways, before we start, if you'd like to see part 2 and how I explain part 1, you can see the videos which have been uploaded before. Anyways, so the question 3 says gallium is a metallic element in group 3. It has similar properties to aluminium or aluminum, depends on where you come from. So it's a metallic element, so there are some properties we need to be aware of, which will come later in question part 2. Anyway, so the first part is straightforward. You have to describe the structure and bonding in a metallic element. You should include a label diagram, but I believe that's not necessary, as if you can explain the points, you'd get great marks straightforward. You'd get the marks anyways. It says should, but it would be easier if you draw it. So anyways, the drawing, basically metallic elements have cations or positive ions surrounded by a mobile sea of E minus or electrons. These electrons come pretty handy in the next part of the next part. So anyways, so the diagram I'll be explaining by so the diagram, you have to draw cations, which are just, that's a bit too big, sorry. So the cations will be plus. Yeah, you can draw as many as you want, but make sure they're not touching, otherwise that would not get you any marks. You can put them close, but make sure they don't touch. Try to make them as linear as you can in like a straight line. Anyways, that's the first part, and then you've got the E minus in between them just floating around randomly. Make sure you don't put the electrons together either, like too close. That might have been, anyways, I'd put one together, but I don't think that's an issue, but I would just keep them away. So anyways, that's pretty much this part. So anyways, if you have difficulties drawing like I do, you can explain them in 3 different points. So you can say attractions between between cations and mobile sea of electrons. Attractive forces if you want. I'm pretty sure this would get you 3 marks since it explains the fact that there's cations and there's the mobile sea of electrons. And the attractions are the third point. So anyways, that's pretty much it for this one. Explain why metallic elements such as gallium are good conductors of electricity. So you can say that the mobile sea of electrons are carry charge yeah, the movement of these mobile sea of electrons causes a current to makes the current flow, basically makes current flow. Yep, that's it. Which makes sense, to be honest. The electrons, if you do electrolysis or voltaic cells, they are the ones that can pretty much give you the voltage, which does make sense. Anyways, give the formulae of gallium 3 chloride and gallium sulfate. So gallium 3 chloride is gallium forms the 3 plus ion, as it's in the same group as aluminium. I was going to say aluminum, which is wrong. So anyways, you get 3, 1, then you cross them over, so you get actually Cl3, Cl3, and similarly SO4 2 minus and Ga3 plus gives you Ga2 brackets SO4 3. This is pretty easy to marks if you know your radicals and stuff like that. So anyways, so the next part is you have to write the chemical equation between gallium 3 oxide and dilute nitric acid to form a salt in water only. So it's basically a neutralization reaction from what you can see. So you get Ga2O3 and nitric acid, which is HNO3, giving you a salt which I predict should be gallium nitrate, because it is gallium oxide and nitric acid. So you should get GaNO3 whole thrice plus. Actually, I'll rewrite that since I realized that there's not enough space. It's my fault. Ga2O3 plus HNO3 gives you Actually, I think that's a bad idea, since you might have to balance this. Yep. NO3 whole thrice plus water. So looking at this, you have 2 Ga on this side, you have 2 Ga on that side, and the balancing is a bit tough to explain. It just I find it difficult to explain, but so you do 2 here to balance the gallium on that side. That means you have 3 HNO3. Actually, you have 6, since you have 3N directly. So you have 3N directly, and then you have to multiply by 6. That means this has to be 6 in order to balance the nitrogens. And so if you double check that, you actually get, you have to put a 3 here as well. So